I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public.
A lot of people, 50, I feel like he don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, oh.
Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal went on record claiming the Netflix documentary Music left out the footage that could do the most damage. He is not talking about random B-roll, a few deleted scenes, or extra interviews that just did not make the final cut. Music, according to him, more than 130 hours of unseen material is now with 50 Music sent. And that footage allegedly includes Beyoncé tilde copyright and Jay-Z in Moments music that could seriously hurt the public images they have spent years building. The documentary that came out on Netflix in his view was the controlled version. The real fallout, he says, still music, has not happened. And 50 Cent has suggested he might put everything on YouTube where there may be much less control over what gets released. So that's just competitive Diddy, competitiveness. All right, so you and Diddy you and Puff cool. No, I don't really rock with Diddy now. Damn. All right, I didn't know what that meant. Okay. Now, the reason people are paying attention to Gene Deal is because he is not some faceless account online throwing out rumors for clicks. He was Diddy's bodyguard. He was around the people, the rooms, the conversations. Music, and one thing he keeps repeating is that cameras were always there. Meetings, phone calls, private talks, moments people probably assumed music were not being recorded. According to Deal, all that recording was not only about remembering what happened later. It was also, in his view, a form of control. He has said this publicly more than once, music, in multiple interviews. And the basic message he keeps coming back to is that the Netflix version was only a piece of the story, a very small piece. The numbers are what make this so uncomfortable. Diddy allegedly filmed more than 140 hours of his own activities before Music, his September 2024 arrest. The Netflix documentary was 4 episodes long. Each one was roughly an hour. So when you do the math, there are Music, still at least 130 hours that the public has not seen. 50 Cent says he has that material. He says he paid the videographer for it. And for anyone worried about their reputation, that music difference matters. Netflix had lawyers, Netflix had editors, Netflix reviewed what went out before it aired. YouTube is a very different situation. 50 Cent could, in theory, upload something at 3:00 in the morning with no warning. No network executives weighing in, no polished rollout, no careful legal filter. Just raw footage landing online. Sometimes you receive more with not doing well than you receive. Laughter he lied through his teeth. Yeah, who would we wouldn't even bring it up. About, and according to Gene Deal, that footage includes names people would instantly music recognize. Beyoncé tilde copyright, Jay-Z directly, not as vague background figures and not through some loose connection that people have to decode. Deal has said plainly that their public images could be at risk. And when you look at what they have built, you can see why that claim got music attention. 2 decades of carefully managed branding, Rock Nation, Parkwood. A power couple image that has survived scandals, lawsuits, music headlines, and nonstop public scrutiny. And now a former Diddy bodyguard is saying music, there is material that could put all of that under pressure. Sitting with a rival who has already shown he is willing to use what he has. Because 50 Cent has already given people a sense of how far he is willing to go. He helped produce the Music documentary. He posted a meme showing Jay-Z's face on the Predator character. The caption used a lyric from Jay-Z's own 2006 song, Music, "Have got a young girl, still not quite 21. That did not read like a harmless joke. It read like a shot, a deliberate one. Especially Music, from someone who has kept suggesting there is more material that has not been shown yet. Music, and when someone asked him about releasing the rest of the footage, 50 Cent said that if people saw it, There would be no more debate about the narrative. He called it music clear-cut. So what is actually inside those 130 hours? Nobody outside 50 Cent's circle can say for sure, but there is one thing we do know. Because it already appeared in the documentary. Music, there is a scene where Diddy is on speakerphone with his attorney. The attorney says, and I am quoting directly, "We music need the core theme to be, you did not do anything wrong." That aired, that moment is real, and it is still not clear whether the lawyer even knew the call music was being recorded. On its own, that raises serious questions about trust between a client and his legal music defense. Now take that one moment and stretch it across 130 hours of unseen footage. What else was captured? Who else was on those calls? And music, who believed they were speaking privately. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law. But if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and music, you know. We'll see what happens if the DA looks and investigates. Now add the pressure from everything happening around it. In October 2024, a Jane Doe filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of misconduct. In December, she amended the complaint to name Jay-Z as well. The allegation music was that both men assaulted her in 2000 when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z immediately called it a blackmail attempt. He music did not settle. He countersued for defamation and malicious prosecution. Then, in February 2025, the Jane Doe voluntarily dismissed her case with prejudice. Music, which means it cannot be filed again. Legally, that is a win for Jay-Z music, but there is one part of this that people keep circling back to. If Jay-Z is completely innocent, and music, if the unreleased Diddy footage could show something that helps his side, why has he not publicly demanded music that it be released? Why has he not called on 50 Cent to put all of it out? His music legal team has been aggressive. He is countersuing. He is fighting in court, but when it comes to the unseen footage and what it may contain, his camp has not been saying much. No public demands, music, no major press statement pushing for disclosure. No visible lawsuit aimed at forcing the material into the open. That silence is one of the reasons people keep watching this so closely. Gene Deal has also taken the conversation into much darker territory. Music, he claims the documentary left out key incidents connected to Diddy. He was not speaking in vague terms, he gave specific names. He mentioned Anthony Wolf Jones. He said, and again I am quoting, music, it was not only Big, it was not only Shakur. That is a serious claim, because he is saying the documentary avoided material about people who suffered inside Diddy's orbit. Deal says the environment Diddy created around him cost lives. Music, now this is where the wording matters. There is no independent evidence confirmed music outside Deal's testimony. But the weight of it comes from the accusation itself. The fact that it is coming from someone who was there. And the fact that Netflix apparently chose not to include that side of the story. I don't think they are scared of him. I think they more so they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've singing and music been known for. You understand, then look at the timing of everything else around this. In January 2026, Music, the Department of Justice released millions of pages of Epstein-related music documents. In those files, Rihanna's name appeared in a 2018 phone log. Jay-Z's name appeared in a 2019 FBI crisis intake report where an anonymous music caller alleged that he was present during a Weinstein assault. The DOJ, explicitly music, warns that these tips may be fake. They could be completely fabricated. Still, their names appearing in government files tied to Epstein music is enough to keep people talking. The documents exist. Then on March 8, 2026, a woman named Ayanna Ortiz drove to Rihanna's home and opened fire with an assault rifle. Music, Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, and their 3 children were inside. No one was injured. Ortiz Music has been charged with an assault. The motive is still unknown. That incident is already horrifying on its own, but the conspiracy theories started almost immediately. Social media filled up with unsubstantiated music, claims that Jay-Z might somehow be connected to the shooting because of the Epstein file mentions. Law enforcement has not made that connection. The shooter appears to have had a documented fixation on Rihanna, including angry social media posts.